Hello, my name is Tony Fackery and thank you for joining me on what is probably the last video blog for 2013. Today's topic is finding courage through adversity. This is also an article which appears on my website tonyfackery.com. So for more information on that, please refer to the article. So finding courage through adversity. Listen, I want you to understand something, and that is suffering is inevitable. Suffering is part of life. And the degree to which you suffer is changed by your perception of it. And so we all suffer emotionally, mentally, physically, spiritually. We all have our cross to bear in this life. We've all come here in order to experience a lesson which is vested in personal growth. And that means at some point we suffer. So suffering is optional. And that is, it's how we internalize that suffering and what that suffering actually means. Because if we allow the suffering to occur at such a deep and powerful level, we can see that there's a powerful experience there that is uniting us for our personal growth. So inevitably, it is important that you ask, what is this experience that you are finding in your life asking you to know about yourself? What is your soul's agenda? I often say that your soul's agenda is different to your ego's agenda. Your ego is concerned with status. It is concerned with things such as how much money you have in the bank or looking good to others, whereas the soul operates from a different perspective. And that is, it's not concerned with any of these elements. Its only concern is for your personal evolution in this lifetime. And so if you live life from the soul's agenda, you'll understand and recognize such a deep internal happiness. That happiness comes as a result of living from the heart, living from the soul, as opposed to the ego. So if you're faced with some adversity at the moment in your life, what I ask you to do, or what you want to look to, is suspend your need to cast judgment on the situation. And that is, rather than label it as good or bad, allow the experience to flow through you. Say yes to the experience rather than resist it. You see, when we resist an experience that is happening to us, whether it's turmoil or financial hardship or the dissolution of a intimate relationship or otherwise, when we say no to these events, we create that suffering, we internalize that suffering. And so instead of internalizing the suffering, say yes to it, embody it. And I know that goes against everything that you may have come to know in your life. But when you embody the experience and suspend your need to label it as good or bad, you allow the process of life to flow through you. And as it flows through you, you transmute, you change the essence of that experience into something positive. And so a caveat here is that rest if you must. It's okay to retreat for a while. And retreating isn't the same as surrendering or giving up. Retreating means gathering your resources in order that you take a step back so that you can run forward with enthusiasm, with passion and with vengeance. And then finally ask yourself, what personal growth is contained within this experience, within this adversity? If you continue to look from that soul's perspective and from that higher perspective, you can see that everything that is unfolding in your life is happening for a greater purpose. And so what is life asking you to see or realize about yourself? What is it asking you to realize about this experience? So if you've come across some financial hardship, what is the lesson contained within that experience? Is it one of personal growth? Is it one of reclaiming your power? If it's the dissolution of a romantic relationship, what is life prompting you to discover about yourself? Is it that you give too much of your power away in that relationship? Is it that you've become too comfortable? So the experience is vested in something which is the opposite, which is the contrast. And so life gives you that contrast in order that you may know its opposite. And so its opposite is love, is courage, is faith, is hope. So next time you're caught up in some turmoil and some drama, rather than shy away from it and resist it and internalize that suffering, ask yourself, what could possibly be the experience that life is summoning me to realize? Thank you once again for joining me on this video blog and seeing the end of 2013. I wish all of you a safe, a prosperous, a healthy and happy 2014, and thank you for joining me this year and making these videos possible. My name is Tony Fakhri. Thank you once again.